And we'll now move on to their Part A, which is Part A's, plural, roads of national significance, downstream safety improvements, soils arm, pedestrian crossing points. That looks like that was not a unanimously held view. Have I read that right? Do we need staff here for this one? No questions? We've got staff here if there are any questions. All right, would someone like...
might like to comment on the process that got us here.
I mean, this is another example, I guess, of the conversation we need to have around road safety. The proposal that we're coming with here is for a signalised crossing, which is probably twice the cost of a zebra crossing, and it's primarily for school kids crossing the road. They tend to cross it 2 times a day, which is morning and evening, and we felt probably that a zebra crossing, Kia manned crossing would be better. The NZTA regulations, in terms of the amount of traffic going down that road, suggest that that wouldn't be safe enough. And so we've come up with this signalised crossing. So that's what we're approving. But I think, this is a conversation that we do need to have, maybe with NZTA, and reviewing what we think is safe and what isn't. Because it's not always just about the traffic flow. It's also about who's using it, when they're using it, and how much traffic goes across that road. So, it's and it's expensive. I mean, the original budget for this was over $500,000. The actual budgeted cost now is $250,000. That's a lot of money just for a little crossing. So that's something that we do want to have a look at as well. But I think there needs to be a general conversation for all of us about all this traffic safety business.
Tim?
Because generally, if it's a school crossing, when they cross, it is staffed by parents but I mean,
Teachers.
Is that taken in by NZTA? Because
it's to do with the amount of traffic on the road. That's the problem, as opposed to for twice a day you can have a manned crossing.
But isn't it the question? The question to the final answer would be, how is it managed? Because if it is just a crossing, anyone could get hit at any time during the day. But if it is a managed crossing at the crucial times for schools,
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that it won't be used the rest of the day. Yeah, David?
I think there's 2 things. The zebra crossing, people are really going away from them because they give people a false sense of security. You do have the right of way to walk on that, but in actual fact, so you would see a trend away from zebra crossings probably. Secondly, that there's no mandate for the school necessarily to man that in that time. Now that's their choice, and they do have, some schools are very proactive. I don't know in this particular case how many other pedestrian crossings they've got. Have they got enough people to do it? So that's the other issue. There is no mandate that they have to have a school patrol out there, my understanding. So those are the 2 kind of criteria coming. And I suppose what's trying to recommend is what's become practice across New Zealand.
Yanni?
2 questions. The first was, how does this rate in terms of priority for dangerous intersections or safety improvements? Well, it's
not an intersection.
It's Cotswold. Yeah, it's a crossing. Yeah. So in terms of the stretch of road, in terms of like the idea that we spend the money here, how do we know that this is like the top priority for us compared to say like the other ones that we got sent through the other day?
It's not their intersection.
No, I know that, but
this is not an intersection.
It's a safety improvement. It's a safety improvement for the school, which costs a lot of money. Right. So, and then. Right. Okay. So, and then the second question was just in terms of the number of signals that are going in. Do we know how many are going in? I've just been concerned at the number of signals that we are putting into some of our crossings. So,
but these ones only go red when somebody pushes a button.
Yeah.
So that it's not a set of traffic lights.
Okay.
It is a signalised traffic.
Yep. No, I understand that. So there'll just be 2 basically. And I mean, there has been some feedback to me that some of these on-demand crossings tend to get triggered when there's actually no one crossing. I think Hagley Ave.
On the match.
Yeah, that's the other way. The on-demand ones, you have to stand on the pad or they don't go.
Right, so the one down, like, Dean's Ave, for the cyclists to go across, it shouldn't be being triggered unless someone's on it?
I think you'll find some of them get triggered and then the person decides to go through the traffic before they go and then they will go. That's what normally happens, and I must admit I'm guilty of that. Suddenly there's no traffic coming, it'll shut the road, I'm already across the street. So, yeah, sorry, yeah, I won't do it anymore, Aaron, I'm sorry.
Right,
If there's an issue with Hagley Ave, I'll check that separately, as a separate issue.
yeah. So, are there any other questions on this one? Andrew?
So given the conversation that we've just had, I'm very aware obviously of the puffin crossings and the way that they work, because we're having one of those installed on Norwich Quay in Littleton. Was consideration given for a smart puffin crossing on this road to get around some of the issues that have just been raised?
Stop saying puffin.
What's a smart puffin crossing?
All options were considered, including a quay crossing, a zebra crossing, but they were ruled out because of the volume of traffic going down this road and the type of traffic going down this road, and the design standards relating to that.
Alright. So,
Can I just comment on it, Madam Chair?
do you want to move it, or?
Yeah, more than happy to move it.
Right.
Because of the board's robust debate and the concern over the cost, we had a deputation around the cost that it was so high. And once we drilled into it, we found out the actual cost was less than half of what was on the budget, which raised concerns around the board of how that had come about. And then, because we are so responsible, we also took out of the LTP another signalised intersection, which is scheduled 50 metres away from where this crossing is, because we just could not handle the double up of two intersections. And Sawyers Arms Road does have less traffic volume than Herwood Road, and there's no crossings there that are signalised. Yeah, it does. Show you the number.
We got the count. Have we got the counts for Herwood versus Sawyers Arms? I mean, the traffic volumes
Not
down
here.
Sawyers Arms, I mean, it relates to getting to the airport, obviously, and getting onto Johns Road. But,
Yeah. I know they were, I'm pretty sure they were in the report that went to the community board. But I
Got them
haven't
in front of me.
online.
2013 Herwood Road is 15,227. 2013 Sawyers Arms Road is 9,427. And in the projected modelling,
What year?
Sawyers Arms goes up to, by 2021, 11,963. 2031, 12,089. And Herwood Road at the same time is 15,227, 13. So they've got Herwood Road reducing, but it still stays more than Sawyers Arms.
sorry, I'm trying to find it on the report. No, I don't want to read it on I don't want to read it on your phone.
That's off the screen, so that's Herwood Road. There, that's the numbers there. And Sawyers Arms.
Are you seconding this?
Yeah, I just can't.
No,
No?
right. Can't.
You're not seconding it? You are? Mike?
Can I just make a note that obviously the Northern Corridor construction has started, which actually will increase heavy vehicles on Sawyers Arms Road as well by quite a
Yeah,
lot.
I know.
Can I just ask a clarification of the comment that Councillor Kewen made around the cost? And I don't think there's any, we've been told it could be done for half the price. So do we need a resolution around that?
Oh, no, the community board's already. So, good to go.
The amounts in the budget? Yep. All right. All right, I'll put that motion. All those in favour say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. That's carried. Thank you.